Good morning, Coleman. Thank you for joining us on Coleman Today. I'm your host, Christine Wiggins, and today is Wednesday, July 30th. Coming up on Coleman Today, Governor Ivey announces $750,000 for economic growth in Cullman County, a $20,000 donation to Cullman County Schools for mental health, and Hope Horses hosts its first ever fundraising dinner to expand services. All of this plus sports, weather, and more. Now let's take a closer look at the top stories happening in Cullman today. Governor Kay Ivey announced Monday that more than $25.9 million in Growing Alabama funding is being invested in economic development projects across 15 Alabama counties. The announcement followed her speech to the Economic Development Association of Alabama, highlighting the state's commitment to job creation and site readiness. The 2025 Growing Alabama program funds critical site development and infrastructure improvements, especially in rural areas, with over 27% going to targeted counties, including $750,000 to Cullman County. Ivey said that the investments are paving the way for high-quality jobs and long-term prosperity across every corner of the state. Commerce Secretary Ellen McNair says the funding will help fast-track industrial site preparation, giving Alabama communities a competitive edge for future development. Growing Alabama offers tax credits to individuals and businesses that contribute to approved economic development projects, creating a win-win for both investors and local communities. Cullman County Schools and Counselor Karen Pinion once again have partnered with the Stephen K. Griffith Memorial Committee to bring much-needed mental health services and support to the students of Cullman County Schools. The SKG committee was established to raise mental health awareness and expand the availability of services to residents in our area. The committee donated $20,000 in its ongoing effort to help students and families receive mental health services. Students of Cullman County Schools and their families in need of mental health support or services can contact Karen Pinion with Cullman County Schools for more information. A special evening filled with food, music, and heartwarming stories took place at Hope Horses on July 24th as the nonprofit hosted its first ever Grow Hope Capital Campaign Dinner. Local leaders, including Mayor Woody Jacobs and Senator Garland Gudger, joined supporters at the facility to help Hope Horses move closer to securing a permanent home. Guests toured the stables, met therapy horses like Kobe, Spots, and Bubbles, and heard from the students whose lives have been transformed through the therapeutic riding program. Chairman Josh Wiggins said the goal is to reach even more students across North Alabama. The program currently serves 28 students with physical, emotional, and cognitive challenges, and more are on the waiting list. Executive Director Kelsey Scott says the new facility will allow those students to finally get their chance. The evening wrapped with a gourmet meal by Chef Lindsay Noto King and a moving video sharing the impact of Hope Horses, one life, one horse at a time. And that's all for our top stories this morning. Coming up next, Wallace State student athletes earn national academic and athletic honors. Sports is next. Welcome back. Wallace State Community College is celebrating a standout year, both on the field and in the classroom. 9 athletic teams and more than 50 student athletes earned all academic honors from the NJCAA, with each team maintaining a GPA of 3.0 or higher. Recognized teams include volleyball, women's and men's basketball, tennis, golf, cross country, baseball, and softball. The volleyball team finished 11th nationally, while women's tennis and basketball each placed in the top 20, leading the state and region in their divisions. 7 teams also claimed ACCC conference titles, and several finished top 10 nationally, including softball, women's golf, and men's and women's cross country. Individually, student athletes were honored for academic excellence, with first-team recognition going to those earning a 4.0 GPA. Looking ahead, Wallace State is expanding its athletic offerings with men's soccer and women's flag football launching in fall 2025. And that wraps up sports for today. Coming up next, Cullman Parks and Rec's upcoming lineup, sharing your gardening extras, Pam Couch retires from teaching, and Cullman Fire Rescue receives a special visit. Welcome back. Now it's time to speed things up with a news rundown. 4 stories in under 4 minutes. If you're looking for a way to beat this heat this weekend without breaking the bank, head over to WildWater Friday night for the dive-in movie Moana 2. Starting at 7 p.m., enjoy a relaxing evening in the wave pool while watching a family-friendly movie under the stars. The movie is free with park admission or a season pass. Bring your friends and family and make a splash at this fun summer activity. And don't forget about Cullman Parks Recreation and Sports Tourism upcoming Volleyball Youth League, designed especially for girls ages 9 through 14 who are ready to learn, compete, and most importantly, have fun. Player evaluations will be held on August 14th starting at 5:30 p.m. at the Omniplex. Practices and games will take place every Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. Registration is open now. And go ahead and save the date for Fiddler on the Roof with performances August 15th through 23rd at Cullman High School. You can see these and more upcoming programs and events at cullmanrecreation.org/calendar. Has your garden produced an abundance this year? If you'd like to share your excess harvest with families, children, and groups that are food insecure, the North Alabama Agriplex is giving gardeners the opportunity to give to others. Just bring your surplus produce to 1714 Tally Ho Street in Cullman, Monday through Friday between 8 and 3, or call 256-297-1044 to make other arrangements. After 45 years of shaping young minds, Pam Couch is retiring from a remarkable teaching career that spanned 3 schools and thousands of students. She began at Trinity Christian Academy in Oxford, spent 22 years at Good Hope, and finished her journey teaching fast track at Wallace State. Couch originally debated between nursing and teaching, but says she followed God's calling and never looked back. She recalls moments of struggle and triumph, from managing a choir of 50 students in her first year to touching the lives of students who still reach out decades later to thank her. She's taught generations within the same families, watched students grow into pastors, writers, and leaders, and believes teaching is more than a job, it's a calling. Her advice for future educators? Love your students, pray for them, and meet each one where they are. Pam Couch leaves the classroom with gratitude, purpose, and a legacy of impact. Mrs. Alabama 2025 and Cullman native Taylor Folks and her children stopped by Cullman Fire Rescue Station number 2 last week to see their new truck. Along with her support for the city, she brought popsicles to the crew. And that's your 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Now for a quick break before we look at the weather ahead and pay our respects with obituaries. I'll be right back after this quick message. Let's take a moment to pause and remember those who have lost their lives this week. James Harold Cox Jr., 90, of Crane Hill, passed away Saturday, July 26th. Further arrangements will be made privately by the family. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his friends and family. Now let's take a moment to look ahead at the weather forecast. Today will be mostly sunny with a high near 93, heat index values as high as 101, and a 50% chance of showers and storms in the afternoon. There is a heat advisory for the area until 9 p.m. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 73 and a slight chance of showers overnight. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high near 91 and a 60% chance of showers and storms. Thursday night, partly cloudy with a low around 72, showers and storms likely mainly before 7 p.m. And that wraps up today's edition of Cullman Today. Thank you for sharing your morning with us, and remember to stay connected by following us on social media and visiting CullmanTribune.com for the latest from our community. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. Until then, I'm Christine Wiggins with Cullman Today. Have a wonderful day, Cullman.